Here we are. So, hello, Rob. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Rob. I just needed to do like a sound check thing there. So, even though we've been talking the whole time, I needed to make sure that the people could hear you because that's ultimately what's most important of all.
It's all about the people.
It's exactly it's nothing but love, guys. Now, Rob, it's just you and me. We have finally we've like cut the we've got the cream of the crop here, trimmed the
It is
fat.
the A team, finally!
Finally, the A team. Yes.
Finally.
Okay, so Rob, now this is tell us things. We've got a special presentation that we're going to have here. I'm very excited that you submitted this for the festival. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what we're about to see?
I will, and thank you for showing it on the festival. It's rather exciting. It's the first play I ever wrote, and it is also the first straight drama I ever wrote. There might be one laugh in it. There are no laughs in it at all. It was a challenging thing to write, and I wrote it, I directed it, and I foolishly co-star in it. But don't worry, the other cast is amazing, and it was crazy. Like I said, I wrote this, and one of the characters I wrote like rather differently from how it's portrayed, and like the very first read through, the actor portrayed it the way he's doing it, and it's like, so when I read it now, I'm like, that's not on page, that's not on the page. How did he interpret it that way? But it's fantastic. It's so much better than how I wrote it. It's like I have so much admiration and awe of what actors can do interpreting words. Like usually, if it's a comedy, I'm like, no, you got to say it the way I freaking wrote it, because
Yeah.
that's how it's funny. No, I mean, this was just blew me away. They all the cast blew me away on this. And a warning or not a warning, but the recording is kind of bad at parts. Like the theater set up the camera on how we initially set the first scene up. So there are a couple things that happen off camera. And the final scene, there's only one person visible. But the essence of the play is still there. It's 25 minutes long. It's about four siblings who go visit their former criminal kingpin father for the first time in 20 years. And if I did my job right, you'll see at the end, there's a bit of a twist. If I did my job right, you do not see the twist coming.
Okay. Well, you've just warned us that there's a twist, Rob. But we will look out for that. No, just to say something about that. Like I agree with like what you said. Like sometimes you can get a script and you can get a performance from someone which just completely gives a different interpretation from what you could have expected.
It blew me away.
And that shows how collaborative like the theatre is. Truly,
And I gave zero. I'm like, I'm not going to say any notes. I don't want him to change a thing. Just from the first read through. Like, first time he's even looking at the pages. I'm like,
Wow. Okay, so I guess without further ado, this is Another Life. Now,
Another
audience, we'll. I'm just going to cue it up on the screen, just because for a second you might see like us again, just because I need to make sure we're displaying the correct monitor.
That's never a bad thing, seeing us.
Yeah. So let's make sure we've got the correct monitor displaying, and we're going to make sure it's the correct size. So this is not a spoiler. Yeah, it's coming up small. Let's make it big. And let's make it full size there. Brilliant stuff. And with that, we will show you Another Life.
Damn, really, who knew you could cook so good?
Yeah. Aren't you the guy that almost burned down our whole house? Couldn't even get it right?
No, that was you did it. And then you tried to blame one of them. And then the dog. And then the dog.
That was messed up, man.
So you're gonna tell us why we're here? I mean, I love when we all get together for like a special dinner with no kids, lives, husbands.
You're right. I do have something to tell you all. But first, you might want to top off your glasses of wine.
I knew it. You're dying, aren't you? What is it? Cancer?
Ronnie, what the hell, man? You just relax.
No, I'm not dying. But I did hear from Aunt Sophie the other day. And she was
Oh,
told...
she's dying.
Alright, seriously, just calm down. You just tell us what's up, already?
Okay. No, she is not dying either. But she did hear from Dad. Apparently, he's been moved to a new prison. This is about the rest of the sentence, and he can accept visitors. he has requested that we all go see him.
Dad. Give me that when you're done.
So what do you guys think?
Wow. Dad, does he want us to go one by one or all at the same time, or?
I don't know. I just assumed that we would all go together.
I hate to admit this, but I haven't thought about Dad in at least 10 years.
I know what you mean. Feels like a lifetime ago.
Did you say how it was? Did he sound all right?
I don't know.
What's with the move? Is it a sympathy thing? Is he dying?
Ronnie, what is it with you and death, man?
Being pretty quiet over there, Missy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think like David, I haven't thought about Dad in years, and I'm not sure that I want to.
It might be hard to face him after all this time. I mean, it's been 20 years. None of us are the same people we were then. Especially me.
What do you mean by that?
I turned my back on the business when he went away.
We all did.
Not like me. I was the firstborn. I was taking on more and more responsibility. I was going to be his successor. I think he'll be disappointed in me.
Well, he'll definitely be disappointed in me.
Why do you think so?
Oh, come on, man. You know why?
Who cares what Dad thinks? He's been gone for 20 years.
Exactly.
He doesn't control us anymore. And William, you've built a great life. None of us have anything to feel guilty for.
So I take your vote as a no-go.
I don't see the point.
I mean, it could be good just to see him again. He didn't even want us at his trial.
That's because his ego wanted us to remember him as the big bad kingpin.
Then, he was locked away in the cold for 20 years. It could also be hard to see him like that.
Well, I looked it up. It's about a 9-hour train ride. I think we should go. It might be good for us and good for him. But I would only go if it's something we all decide to do together.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go if Missy goes.
Yeah, no way I'm going without you, sis. You were always his little girl. It would kill him if we showed up without you.
That's right. So we all go, or none of us go. It's up to you, Missy. Plus, I've always wondered how he got caught. Maybe he finally knows.
Yeah, we could make a little vacation out of it.
Yeah, but just us. No, I'm not taking my kids to prison. I haven't even told them about Pop yet.
Me either, so definitely no kids. Alright, if you guys want to go, let's all go.
Wow. Are we really gonna go see Dad? At least we have some nice scenery on this ride.
Yeah. That almost makes it worth the hassle of getting all that time off work.
Tell me about it. So do you guys ever miss it?
Miss what? Where we were?
Yeah. All the houses, the money.
No.
You make good money now, so it's a bit different for you than for us.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss the money. And being treated like royalty everywhere we went.
Yeah. You remember on my basketball team, we got in that fight with Western High? And that guy was about to punch me right until he recognized who I was?
Well, there.
I swear, he just stood there and let me knock him out. That's actually the loudest I think I ever heard Dad cheer for me.
I was standing right next to him.
Yeah, that's my boy! That's my boy!
Yeah, so, I mean, stuff like that was nice. And the money. God, I miss the money.
You all have good jobs too.
Well, don't get me wrong, I love my life now compared to then, but not worrying about money would be pretty nice too.
Yeah. We're going through Pennsylvania now. It reminds me of when Dad used to rent out Hershey Park or Busch Gardens just for us and our friends.
Yeah, well, those were Missy's two favorite places, so of course we did that.
Why do you guys keep saying that I was the favorite?
Because you were.
Yeah, come on, sis. I thought you were the smart one.
Okay, I don't know what you guys are talking about. You guys were his boys.
What about our 10th birthday? I got a football. You got a pony. You got a freaking pony.
Don't talk bad about Mr. Skittles. He's the love of my life.
You have 2 kids and a husband.
I have 2 preteens, and I stand by my statement.
Yeah, well, you didn't just get a pony. Dad gave you 3 acres of land to ride around on.
Hey, okay. I asked for a pony. You asked for football. Don't blame me because you didn't think big.
Yeah, he didn't build me a football field so I could play on it with.
He's got you there.
Oh, hey, let's talk about cars. What cars were we each given when we first got our license?
Okay, point taken. Point taken. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow, there really are some beautiful views in this country, huh?
Yeah.
We should all travel more.
Oh, hey. There's a cemetery coming up.
Dude, Ronnie, man. When this is all over, we seriously have to have a talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you my shrink's info.
You're still in therapy?
Yep. No end in sight.
Hey, isn't that that's the cemetery where Cousin Jamie's buried at?
You know, one thing that's always bothered me is that you never really know how he got caught. We never really talked about it. What do you guys think it was?
I always thought it was some undercover cops or something.
No way.
Yeah, no way. Too much went down for it to be anyone who could have been in the car. Cobb was always so paranoid about undercover cocksuckers, as he called them. And it took years for anyone to become part of the real inner circle.
I mean, it could have been one of the business partners or heads of one of the pipelines. You know, they all went down too. You never know when they could have got busted and decided to flip for a better deal.
Maybe, but I still think too much came out on our end for any of them to know. It had to be someone close.
You know, I always thought it was Vincent back then. And you think about it now, I mean, it still makes a lot of sense.
It wasn't Vincent.
How do you know? I mean, that does make sense.
Yeah, look, he was never arrested. Nobody has seen him. Dude, that guy flipped and he's in witness protection right now.
Trust me, it wasn't Vincent.
Yeah, it wasn't Vincent.
How do you know?
Hey, Ron. How do you know?
Same way you know, Willie.
What?
He was there.
You were there.
What are you guys talking about? How do you know that it wasn't Vincent?
You were just a teenager.
Yeah,
You're
remember
all fucked up.
the loft, yeah.
How do you know that it wasn't Vincent?
Because Dad killed him right in front of me, okay? Blew his brains out when I was standing right next to him.
What?
Dude, what did you do?
Nothing. I just stood there. His blood and brains all over my body. I wanted to run outside and throw up. But I felt like Dad was testing me, so I just stood there. Didn't say a word.
He was definitely testing you. And Ronnie, you saw this?
Yeah, I still see it.
Me too. You can't unsee that. I've known Vincent my entire life. And I had his brains on my face, my arm. You can't unfeel that.
Did Dad say anything?
Yeah.
He told 2 guys to get rid of the body and told me to go take a shower. Longest shower I ever took in my life. I think I was in there for 2 hours.
He said it like it was nothing. Like he was ordering a burger, and then he goes back to his meeting like he hadn't just killed someone he had known for 20 years. I was pretty scared of Dad after that. I was pretty scared of you too, Will.
I wish he'd said something to me.
Nah, man. I mean, self-medicating is much easier.
Okay, so it wasn't Vincent. Let's just cross him off the list then.
Yeah.
You know, if we ever do figure out who it was, I'm probably just gonna go up to him and shake his hand. I mean, I miss a lot of stuff from back then, especially the money, but I do not miss any of that shit. And who knows what we would have seen, or even had to do.
You know what, guys? I'm starting to have second thoughts about all this. I think instead I'm just gonna go explore the city or something.
Come on, Ron, you have to go. It won't be bad.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll all be there.
I don't even know if Dad wants to see me there.
But why would you say that?
10th birthdays? Do you want to talk about 10th birthdays? Do you remember what I got?
No.
A pellet gun. I asked for art supplies and I got a pellet gun. The year before that, I got a BB gun. Every year I would ask for art supplies, and every year he'd give me a toy weapon of some sort. He never respected me then, and he sure as hell won't respect me now.
Hey, I work in the art world and I'm not afraid of telling him that.
Yeah, you deal high-end art internationally. You'd probably think that's pretty fucking cool. What would he think about a grown man who paints the bottoms of skateboards for a living?
That you're happy.
Yeah, and Ron, your dad respected you plenty back then.
Yeah, Dave's right. He did think you were a little soft. He was just trying to toughen you up some. But he used to joke around with you way more than he ever did with me or Dave.
Yeah.
I actually used to be jealous of you.
Jealous of me? You, his pride and joy. You were jealous of me?
Yeah. I mean, after we all reached a certain age, it was all business with us. But Dad still made time to do little things with you that he had stopped doing with us. I mean, there was no room for art in the business. I know he still loved your spirit. I think he was just trying to figure out what you could do.
Yeah, well, he sure as hell never showed it. If it wasn't for Mom sneaking me art supplies and taking me to classes, I never would have believed it. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Mom who turned on him.
Mom, are you high right now?
I hope so, because either that or you're insane.
She was always looking out for us.
Okay, Mom was totally in love with Dad and completely devoted to him. And the only thing that matched her love for him was her fear of him. She wouldn't have turned, there's no way.
And I hate to say it, but Dad never let her know enough about the business. I mean, he was always keeping certain things from certain people. It probably would have taken the three of us and Vincent to get all the info the feds had. No way she could have done it.
You know, guys, we're probably never gonna know.
You know what, I'm fine with that. So why don't we'll go to this visit, we'll smile, nod, we'll do whatever we have to make nice, and we'll just get on with our lives.
So we're doing this, right, Ronnie?
Yeah.
We said it's all of us or none of us. If you don't go, we won't either.
Yeah, I'm still in.
Alright.
Hard to imagine Dad living here. We had 4 huge houses.
5. And you always forget about that house in Greece.
5 huge houses. He could roam anywhere he wanted. Now he's in a tiny 10 by 10 cell.
It would drive me crazy.
What the hell is that smell?
This is a nice area for visitation. Can you imagine what it smells like where the inmates are?
I'm trying not to.
A man who always did whatever he wanted, wherever he wanted. Now being told what to do and when to do it.
It's surprising that he's lasted this long. I mean, the last place was probably much worse.
Yeah, but knowing Dad, I'm sure he just found one thing to drive him to get through it all.
For sure. Dad's drive was insane. You guys know my neighbor Jim, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever told you, he's an FBI agent. We became pretty close, so I decided to let him know my original last name and who my father was.
What did he say?
He almost had a freaking heart attack. But you want to know what he told me? Aside from this being the biggest case the Bureau has ever seen, and you take in all the international rings that went down with it too, he said Dad's operation was the single largest the country has ever seen. He said Dad's old territory is now covered by 6 different organizations.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Cartels, the mafia, Irish, Russian, Armenian mobs. It takes 6 of them to do what Dad had all by himself. He said they had never seen anything like it before, and they haven't seen anything like it since. Now,
Maybe Dad really was larger than life.
Is that really him?
So, your boy is going ahead. You can spend a little one-on-one time with Daddy's little girl.
What, does this prison have pony rides too? Yeah, alright, let's go see if Coffee
Prison coffee machine coffee lives up to the hype.
Sure. It was good seeing you, Pop.
Yeah, this was nice.
Yes, it was, my son. I hope you'll all make the trek out to see me regularly.
Sure, we'll make our way out here from time to time. Take care, Pop.
Look at them. Look at my boys. Well, they've gotten a bit soft now. Ronnie's a bit of a dipshit, but my boys have grown into good men.
Yeah, they have. I'm real proud of them.
And look at those smiles. They're smiling from ear to ear.
Yeah, they look good.
So, tell me, Melissa, now that you've been at this reunion of ours, witnessed how happy they are to see me, if you had it to do all over again, would you do what you did?
What?
Above all else, little lady, don't insult my intelligence. I know you're the reason I'm sitting here.
How?
Where do you think you got those brains of yours from? You're staring at them.
But you never said anything, not even when William asked?
I'm no rat. Can't believe I raised one. It's funny that you should ask me how. For years I was consumed with how I got caught. How did they get all that evidence? How do they know where I'd be? How'd the whole operation come down? I knew someone had to turn. Only a handful of people had certain details the feds knew. I didn't want to believe it, but it kept smacking me in the gut. So, the how revealed the who, and that has left me with one question that has broken my heart all these years. Why? Why did one of the people I love most in this world do this to me? Why did she ruin everything the family built over the years? What did I do to her? Didn't I give you a good life? What did I do that made you stop loving me?
I never stopped loving you, Dad. I still love you, and for the most part, you were an amazing father for a little girl.
So what happened?
A little girl grew up.
I knew you were growing up. You were always the smartest. I was grooming you to take my place, you know that. I loved your brothers, but you had all the brains. The throne would have been yours.
I started to take care of my family then, before it was too late.
What does that mean? The family was ruined. The money was all gone.
I didn't do it for me. I did it for them.
What does that mean?
I did it for my family. I did it for them.
How can you say that? The family was ruined. Everything was gone. I guess you weren't as smart as I thought you were.
You know what? They adored you. And they never would have left on their own.
Why would they? Were we not treated as royalty everywhere we went? Our family name was something to be treated with respect. I built that.
It wasn't real respect, Dad. They just feared you.
Respect is respect.
The stupid, fucking macho code of respect. That's what ruins lives. Let me ask you something, Dad. Before you were put away, where was Grandpa? Your brothers? Cousins? You know this little trip out here to visit you? We could have stopped by any number of prisons and even some cemeteries to visit most of the family.
What are you getting at?
I may have rushed it, but your ending was set. The cycle had to break.
So you put me in this shithole for the rest of my life? They wouldn't let me out to go see your mother's funeral. It was was glad she never knew. It would have broken her heart.
You know what Mom said to me the day she asked me to pull the plug? Thank you for doing what no one else can. She knew.
Who are you to make that decision for them? You could have just left on your own. You didn't have to put me in here.
Like you said, when you convinced one of your soldiers to take the rap for Ronnie when he got busted carrying those drugs, sometimes sacrifices have to be made to protect the ones that you love the most.
You know Ronnie wouldn't do well in jail.
Exactly! And yet you still made him carry for you, didn't you? Just like all of us growing up.
So I was the sacrifice that had to be made.
It's the only way to get them out of the family business of being a shithead.
Again, I ask, who are you to make that choice for them?
I didn't make any choice for them. All I did was give my amazing brothers options. Any one of them could have assumed your mantle. The name alone could have started things back up again. But without the blind following of you, they all chose not to be one step away from jail or death.
Good for you. I'm glad you had a choice. I wasn't so lucky. I was born into this life. I just played the hand I was dealt, and I did it better than everyone.
Bullshit! You had a choice. I was born into this too, and I left. They were born into it, and they left. You could have left any time that you wanted to. Hell, we had enough money for generations of family. You could have retired or gone straight, but it was your ego that needed the respect.
Oh, that money is gone.
All of the money's gone. Hey, look at them. Really look at them. They are good people. They are happy people. We may not be filthy rich anymore, but we lead rich lives. Lives that other good people respect, and not out of fear, but out of being a decent human being. Lives that don't require us to look over our shoulders. We have regular jobs. Yeah, some of us better than others, but we look out for each other. And we have great families with some truly amazing children. Your grandkids, who you will never see, and they will never know who you are. So don't ask me if I would do it all over again, Dad, because the answer to that question is a resounding yes. The question that you need to ask while you look at those three remarkable people over there. If you had to do it all over again, would you?
Writer director Rob Kirby.
We're just this amazing cast. Words are just words, but they brought every character to life in a way I could never imagine. Got really lucky. I know all these amazing, talented people in my life. Playing Willie, Craig Johnson. David Gobeck. Ronnie the Dipshit, Patrick Peterson. And history of Kate Klein. Alright, we have about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes to do it. We'll get as many games in as we can. Improv. First game we're going to start off with is called
Sound on. Okay, well, thank you very much there, Rob. That was fantastic to see. Great show, great play. Yeah, and lots. Oh, Rob, you're back. Lots of revelations, I was going to say, throughout there. Great show. Really enjoyed watching that.
I hadn't watched it in a long time actually, and now Katie's performance gave me chills again. Like I just can't say enough about that cast. All three of them were amazing.
Oh, hang on, Rob, just say that one more time because I didn't know you were going to pop back on. I'd muted that. So, you mentioned Katie's performance there.
Yeah, I had not seen that play in a while actually, and just watching Katie's performance gave me chills. All of them, like I cannot say enough about that cast. That was only 2 rehearsals. We did 2 rehearsals for that, and they were all just flawless in my opinion.
Oh, amazing! That's fantastic. So when was that?
It was I believe 2018.
2018. Okay, so not too long. Like again, like mentioning the pandemic, it always feels like that doesn't like that feels like that was skipped over, and so 2018 doesn't feel that long ago to me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, we just did it the other year, but when it pops up on Facebook memories, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that was that long ago.
Yeah. Okay. What inspired you to write it?
No, I actually had an idea to do a full play, and I still kind of do tinker with it, although I'm not sure it's going to work. But I had the idea for the ending of the daddy's little girl or favorite child ends up being the one turning in, and then I wrote to that, and I have an idea of doing a full play with flashbacks. And as you can see, the final scene I cut out where they're talking to the families visiting the father. I cut that out and just go straight to have them saying it was good to see you, and then go straight to Missy. I do have ideas for flashbacks during the play while there actually are the criminal kingpins while they're on high life, and interjecting it throughout with their current lives, but hasn't worked as well as the short has, as the parts I've written so far, that in my opinion. So I don't know if I'm actually going to follow that through, but yeah, I think it works good the way it is. And
yeah, no, I thought it was great. I'd be interested to see this play developed further. So I think you should.
Yeah, it goes in my head. I do have some really cool ideas for flashback scenes of when they were the gangsters.
One thing that just like bringing it back to like obviously how I know you and everything like this here. The thing that like I was like, oh, so it's like an organized crime thing, and obviously you were in the mafia team when we did the team championships with Robbie Knuckles.
Yeah, Robbie Knuckles.
And I was like, this is that. Well, this is an interesting connection that you'd got that obviously in the background here.
If this shows again and I put myself in it again, I'll name my character will be Robbie Knuckles.
That'd be funny. No, but yeah, no, they were great performances. And obviously, like when the dad came in, and then like the revelation and everything, like it builds up to a great ending there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic.
Thank you for showing it. I know we're all happy that more people got to see it. And,
absolutely, yeah. Keep sharing it and like develop it and get more performances. Absolutely. All right.
Do that. Thank you again, David.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Rob, for submitting that and taking the time this evening as well. That's going to wrap things up for tonight, audience. But we will have a bunch more shows tomorrow, so make sure you smash that subscribe button on youtube.com/extreme improv. Check out the full schedule at www.extreme.tv. We may even have 1 or 2 extra things that, just because of a little bit of juggling, we weren't able to quite squeeze in tonight. They may pop up later in the week, or like Friday and Saturday. This week has gone fast. So until next time, stay safe, always stay extremed. Ciao.